of the Rift for our fifth game of the night, as a new Velocity roster, who is not the Alliance's new League of Legends roster, will take to the Rift with a victor in the mid lane, hopefully there to lead them to victory versus their opponents in CrsA Academy. Both teams looking for redemption as they have lost their matches so far here tonight. Which one will fight it versus the other remains to be seen. But with Stefono once again on a very unique mid lane champion, we'll have to see if it's the key to unlock the doors to victory here for Velocity.
And also he's got 44 AP at level 1, which is pretty interesting. And also there's a blue pot start for OneBadBrad on the Evelyn. So looking for a lot of aggression, possibly a lot of counter jungling for him too. Maybe looking for an early first blood. But, Jaximus asking what item it is that Stefono has. We should talk about it. The Hex Core upgrades 3 times, one to affect every one of his abilities. In
So it's a Doran's Rod.
Doran's Rod. Oh god. It's actually a hack, but that skin is so cool. Oh my god, the back animation. It's just like playing with the keyboard. But yeah, the upgrades onto the Hex Core go for the Death Ray, go for the Gravity Field, and go for the Power Transfer, affecting damage, the range of the stun, as well as the burning damage that is applied for the Death Ray if that's upgraded. So we'll see where it goes. I'm interested and excited, as this is the first time we're going to see Victor in competitive play.
I think we've actually seen it once more very early on in the season, but it's been a long time. And I think we actually saw it in LCS once as, I think it was Complexities, Nick Wu, that brought it out in top lane, actually. So I think he went for the green augment. So I'm not sure if that's necessarily what Stefono's going to do, but with 44 ability power level 1, he's going up against a Jaximus who has 25, but isn't quite on that same level. And the ability power scaling per level is what the Hex Core purple item in Stefono's inventory gives him, but a lot of people underestimate Victor's burst damage, and we'll have to see if Stefono could show us here today. Standard lane matchups, RF Legendary makes it back to lane just a little bit late. Does drop an interesting ward placement there very early on for his trinket at the red buff, which OneBadBrad should get to here in just a second.
Yeah, Tsatsulow goes in, gets outpoked and out-traded quite hard right there. Just a little bit of miscommunication with that Zenith Blade, but he has a ton of regeneration from the Relic Shields, as well as helping fabbbyyy regenerate too. We see iusedtobecool. He's got the W max. He got the W leveled up first, and looking to stack up the stun for Incinerate. And not sure about how that lane's gonna go. It's gonna be very all-in. Yeah, level 2 achieved there. iusedtobecool dodges away from the rocket jump, but first blood still goes over to fabbbyyy. He drops the explosive shot, picks up the kill, and that's how that lane goes. For whoever hits level 2 first, goes all in and tries to pick up first blood or blows a summoner.
Top lane, we did see an attempted gank there by Jeebabee. Wasn't quite able to make it up there in time. No Zenith Blade for you, Tsatsulow. First, fool him once, shame on him. Fool him twice, and Pancakes will get pancaked, but now, at least for now, I tried to get a nice stand aside there onto the Zenith Blade. Didn't actually bait it out for Tsatsulow. It was just going to be pushing that lane. Bottom lane with fabbbyyy, so first kill of the game, already taken down relatively easily. That's, like you mentioned, that's kind of a standard all-in, but Stefono, look at the damage he does mid versus Jaximus.
Alright, it's just the Neurotoxic Venomous Bite, just so good. He has the shields to respond at Q, to respond to Elise's damage and absorb whatever else Jaximus wants to throw at him, and I don't know. I'm just baffled. I don't know these matchups. I don't play mid lane. It's so weird to see them. I'm so used to just seeing Kassadins, Zeds, Kha'Zix, everything else.
And actually, a lot of people may not have seen Victor pick before. It's not something you see all that often. The weaknesses for Victor include very, very mana-hungry spells, but with his ultimate being reduced down to only 100 mana now, actually much more in line with the ultimates of a lot of standard mid-lane champions. Also kind of weak on the mobility, which is why some Victors will get the yellow augment that gives you a move speed buff every time you do throw out your power transfer, which gives you a little bit of a shield as well. But most Victors will go for upgrading the Death Ray, which will change that Hex Core into an augment that gives your Death Ray an area of effect, magic damage, burn, and makes your wave clear just absolutely ridiculous.
Tsatsulow gonna go in with iusedtobecool here as the rocket jump comes in with the explosive shot. Oh, beautiful! Incinerate on the 3 members, but is he gonna still fall? It looks like the ignite as well as the auto attack from fabbbyyy picks up the kill, and almost. He almost was cool right there.
Yeah, the second time's the charm. There's iusedtobecool, can't quite find a way to stay in there. fabbbyyy and more specifically Tsatsulow's engage is just really catching him out over and over again. Now it will be 3-man push there for Velocity. Just stand aside comes out from ViagraPancakes, who will grab 1 CS, but will probably lose the majority of the health on this turret. Only 3 minions remain for CrsA Academy. They will have to leave this bottom lane before taking the turret, but even still, forcing ViagraPancakes back off after killing iusedtobecool 2 times already. CrsA Academy, they had a weak bottom lane in their earlier performance versus Cognitive. Now it's looking good.
Yeah, and with that blue pot, OneBadBrad has made it to come into a great effect. He's already got the makings of the Spirit Stone. He's got no assist from that kill down bot, surprisingly, but he's going towards mid and looking to gank on a Stefono here. As Jaximus coming in, he sees OneBadBrad. Stefono, what are you going to do? It looks like he's going to get cocooned up. Spiderling as well as Venomous Spike comes in, and Jaximus picks him off before he could even drop that gravity field. And a nice gank by OneBadBrad.
You look at fabbbyyy. With that 2-kill advantage, he goes back to base and he buys an Avarice Blade and the makings of a Zeal to get an incredibly early static shiv. So very, very early on. For Stefono, he goes back to base and grabs the Augment Death, which will, like I said, give the Death Ray, allow it to set fire to enemies, dealing 30% additional magic damage over 4 seconds. So really, really increases your burst, your power, your wave clear, and that's something that Stefono is going to need to play a little bit more passively and just push the lane, farm the lane out, versus a Jaximus who's already picked up a kill and a Haunting Guise.
A ton of spell penetration going to come from that one. I can see the Sork Shoes coming up second as a big item from him. Oh wow, a 1% crit coming in onto Tsatsulow there, 184 damage from that one. But that Relic Shield / Targon's Embrace with a Doran Shield just gonna shrug it off, and Leona will be just fine. And like you said before, that static shiv rush is really strong, especially if he's maxing explosive shot, which it looks like he is not. He's split it up between rapid fire and explosive shots, so looking for a little bit of both in the attack speed and wave pushing. But the static shiv, like I said before, really, really good early on if you can pick it up as the first item.
Yeah, you actually don't see a lot of Tristana's max rapid fire because it's more of like a extremely late game skill once you get a ton of items to use that attack speed with. But he will have a longer cooldown on Rocket Jump as he's not putting a lot of points into there. But yeah, the standard explosive shot there. Nice to see a lot of wave clear in his future. Looks like in the future, the middle lane, OneBadBrad has that Brilliance Elixir pop. Should run out here any second. Not very high on HP, but could look for another incredibly devastating gank there on Stefono in mid.
Yeah, he drops the ward, backs out, and looks like that's the end of that one. He's rotating around, his red buff is up, could look for that. We do have fabbbyyy now asserting his dominance in the bot lane. ViagraPancakes with the Vampiric Scepter trying to trade a little bit, but Zenith Blade comes through. He does stand aside. ViagraPancakes is forced to back out of there. A nice Incinerate coming in from Annie. Gets the 2-man stun, and with that, ViagraPancakes now down a flash. Gonna have to try to sustain through anything that they want to throw at him underneath this turret if they want to do that. Level 6, very close for the cursed bot lane. And with that, they could use the ultimates to dive very easily.
Blue buff given over to Stefono. Really hope he can hang on to that one. Would be unfortunate to just feed that one away. With Jaximus waiting, Jeebabee will kill off.
Oh, there it is. No. The ultimate comes in. It's the explosive shot as well as the rocket jump back in. But a nice 2-man Incinerate once again. fabbbyyy gonna switch aggro. Tsatsulow has it for the most part, and they will pick up that kill on ViagraPancakes through his barrier. And that's what I just said. Level 6, they were dive.
Yeah, exactly. It's the level 2 all-in, the level 6 all-in. Incredibly huge power spikes for Tristana Leona. And now RF Legendary looking to get some damage on Rhux, but won't do almost anything. This is going to be, like you said, the wet noodle fight. It's going to be a Spirit Visage rush there for RF Legendary, whereas Rhux just going to be going for that Sunfire Cape. And yeah, you're just going to see a whole lot of not a whole lot top lane. Now Stefono faces 1v2, doesn't know OneBadBrad's in the area, but should be able to just push to the wave and return back to his turret.
Yep, static shift now completed. We do see a gank coming in the mid lane. It's going to be the Agni's Embrace as well as OneBadBrad getting stunned up there by the gravity field. And they will let him get away with his life. He uses flash though, so could be a loop around from OneBadBrad again if he wants to. Jaximus gonna get poked out there by the Death Ray. We do have Jeebabee waiting on the side. He has Darkness available if he wants to go in with that. Maybe if Jaximus stays, we could see them look for a dive on him. Jeebabee being very patient, but spotted out by a ward, so that is going to be Jaximus going back to base and keeping himself safe.
Yeah, safe in base, good place to be. OneBadBrad will look for top lane coming around the corner. Does RF Legendary know?
It looks like no, as he's going to get initiated on here. Red buff and tagged. Are they going to chase this one down, though? He has the ultimate available. He will be able to run right out of there and be just fine. And I've noticed RF Legendary just loves playing the tanky bruisers top lane. He does not care to go damage. He just tanky bruiser all over the place.
Always very good at split pushing, too.
Yeah.
That's something that RF Legendary kind of likes to do. It's going to be a Dragon attempt, though, for the rest of the Velocity roster as they look to take that one down to half hit points. And with no jungler in the area, Jaximus just coming out of base. It's going to be the first Dragon of the game at the 11-minute mark going to Velocity.
And that makes the gold deficit only 1,000 gold. So really good maneuver and calling for that Dragon. We do see Evelyn running into Stefono right now, though. OneBadBrad going to do a ton of damage. Flash Cocoon comes in, as well as the Spiderling going to make a sharp left and not connect. OneBadBrad will pick up that kill, though. As now Jeebabee going to run into OneBadBrad, but choose not to fight him. He's got the Berserker Spear. He's going to turn around. Fear Tether comes in. It does connect. Is he going to be able to pick up the kill here? Dustbringer coming up in a few seconds. Pops the Paranoia. Looking to go into OneBadBrad. Dustbringer does connect, but oh my god, a ton of damage from Jaximus. Picking up the kill with the Venomous Bite and Ignite. As Jeebabee will fall.
Yeah, you just can't fight an AP, at least at low hit points, because the way that it works is you get a lot of magic penetration on top of the percentage health damage, on top of having, I think now 60 ability power. That Execute from Venomous Bite is just going to deal so much damage. Now, speaking of dealing damage, Jaximus and OneBadBrad going to take down the first turret of the game for Curse Academy. They will push it down, retreat for now. Once perfect turrets, perfect kills so far. We've seen an attempt at a perfect game earlier on, just couldn't quite make it work. But now, Curse having much better luck here versus Velocity.
Yep, and with that, static shift has been completed. We're going to see him look for Berserker Greaves on that Tristana and Fabby in the bot lane. The turret is going to fall in the next wave if they want to commit to it. iusedtobecool looking for a little bit of damage on that one. Gets the fireball out there. Jeebabee standing on top of the pink ward is waiting in that tri-brush. Paranoia is not available for a little while, about a minute for that one. So we will see if he wants to make a gank attempt. There's a ward in the river. A little bit of aggression coming in from Viagra. Kind of seeing Tsatsulow and Fabby play a little bit more back. Kind of a little knowledgeable that something might be fishy and going on. But Jeebabee backs out, and it will be just keeping a little bit of pressure in the bot lane.
So for now, top lane, there's always aggression up there. So if you ever want to see people fighting, look top. If you ever want to see something happening, stay away from top, because nothing's going to go down up there. RF Legendary can get ganked, but can escape very easily. Same thing for Rhux.
Oh, jeez. Agony's Embrace. There's the rocket jump, but it's not actually enough. It gets interrupted, but either way, he's going to get the reset, gets the kill, gets an assist. With a nice roam from Jaximus, they get both kills and a turret. We do see up top the Dragon's Descent onto RF Legendary, who is trying to tank through that burnout damage. Rhux is going to chase him down, not let him get away. RF Legendary needs just one more charge for the Empower, can heal up. And it looks like it's just the Noodle Fest up top, still just going back and forth and sustaining. No one's going to die, but Ultimates will get burned. And this bot lane right now, 0-5 currently, and Fabby being 4-0, so big.
Fabby's starting to get huge. Had a static ship rush, and now with the BF sword pickup, we'll look for probably an Infinity Edge off of that one. So it's nice to see the snowball rolling the other way for Curse Academy, as their previous performance was not all that great versus nothing here on Cognitive. So looking towards top lane, possible dive coming out onto RF Legendary, does not cancel his recalls, so he's going to get out of there in time. Top turret, probably not.
Yeah, he gets out of there, and the turret will fall, like you said. Going to be 3 turrets to none in favor of Curse Academy, as well as around a 5,000 goldie when this turret does fall. So we will see that come through. Dragon's going to be spawning in a couple minutes here, and we do see Jeebabee getting poked out quite hard. He has the Spirit of the Ancient Golem finished up. We do see a Bone Tooth Necklace fairly early from RF Legendary. He's got the Spirit Visage, so we're going to help him out with some regen there. Blue buff going to get stolen away as Smite comes out. OneBadBrad, I think, gave it over to Jaximus, or just took it for himself. I'm not sure where they started with the blues. Either way, now we're seeing a lot of map control come in from Curse Academy as they're extending the lead.
Lead continuing here, 0-8. The 8 kills, very important to notice going on with both the carries. Stefono trying to drop a little bit slow onto Jaximus. Can you find the kills? No, I used to be cool. He's picked up several kills off of just those roaming anti-ganks mid, but can't quite find one on a Jaximus.
Cannot find it indeed. It's going to be the tier 1 in the mid lane as their focus. Can they get it? But at what cost? It looks like it's going to be at the cost of maybe Stefono's life. He drops the ultimate on top of it, blows up only Jaximus, but at the cost of his own life and maybe Jeebabee's. Are they going to switch their attention to Jeebabee? It looks like fabbbyyy drops the explosive shot, forces a flash out of him. It will be... I used to be cool actually getting out on the side as well. Ultimate from RF Legendary is active. He's going to jump in onto 3 members right now. I don't know what he's thinking, but he's going to drop Ignite, and they will switch their attention to Andy, who's forced to flash away now. RF Legendary going to get beat in on by fabbbyyy, and everybody will back out. I don't think they want to fight this one. RF Legendary looks like he's ready to fight. Flash, Rocket Jump comes in, and it's going to be the auto attack as well. Static Shiv and explosive shot onto used to be cool. He will be able to get out of there, and fabbbyyy not able to get that one. But Rhux goes in with the Dragon Form and the Dragon Breath, and will pick that one up. RF Legendary, they're diving onto him. They will not be able to pick up that kill, and now they're going to be forced to disengage as Stefono is going to try to chase this one out. Gets a double stun with that gravity field, as well as the laser doing a ton of damage. But it's just going to be a 1 for none, and CrsA Academy get out of there. But ViagraPancakes was left alone down bot, actually, with Jaximus now joining the party. The turret will fall, but so will ViagraPancakes. 0-3, but gets the objective for the team.
That's going to be I think the biggest thing to watch out for, not only just objectives, but the biggest objective, the one that I never thought I'd see coming, is going to be turret and kill there for Velocity, as they it's not going to be quite so undefeated. As now OneBadBrad, Jaximus, they will take down the Dragon there together. AP at least, it's not something you see all that often, but if you've ever watched Arthalon play it and competitively, it just does damage you'd never expect to see coming. Absolutely ridiculous. And Jaximus well on his way, 4-1-2 with an extra death, the only difference between him and fabbbyyy, both with very, very high scores. Tsatsulow, fabbbyyy running as quickly as they can up top lane. Nocturne's gonna get out of there. Jeebabee heads back to base, and it's RF Legendary takes the turret, but looks to ult away. Can he escape for now? They ping him off. They know exactly where he's going. Can RF make it out?
It looks like the chase is on. The hunt is actually on the other foot here, as they want to get him. Rocket jump over the wall, but he gets over the wall into the golems. Trying to get out now is his objective. Tsatsulow gets the Zenith Blade through the wall, gets bowled, but it is the end of the road for RF Legendary. He will end up falling here. Repel comes through, bite, Dragon Breath, everything laid into him, and he will fall as Rhux picks up the kill with the burnout. But with 4 members top, we're going to see them capitalize from the side of Velocity, as they will grab the tier 1 mid.
There's going to be the turret falling, and so for now, it's even in turrets. Whereas it was very, very one-sided in favor of CrsA Academy. Now, Smite there, Paranoia going down on a OneBadBrad.
The Fear Tether is broke, though, by the Flash, so he will be able to get out of there. But it looks like the turn is going to come in. He does not shield the Solar Flare from Leona, but later the Rune King from Jovani onto Stefono. He gets blown up right now. He's going to chase down fabbbyyy, gets unstoppable kill, going to reset the jump, go in. Zenith Blade does not connect. ViagraPancakes trying to kite as much as possible with that Blood Rush, and the Axes flashes away as well. And now Jaximus looking for a Cocoon. Gets the shield from Jeebabee as RF Legendary joins the fray, but a nice 3-man Timber stun comes in. It looks like they're trying to get Tsatsulow if they can. Maybe ViagraPancakes getting that kill, but OneBadBrad comes in from behind. The Ignite gets dropped, and it will be a kill on ViagraPancakes. He gets that gold. RF Legendary taking everything he can, but Tsatsulow gets away just barely. Double kill for fabbbyyy on that whole fight. 3 for 1 in favor of CrsA Academy. And it looks like they might not be done yet. ViagraPancakes does dodge away the Spiderling connects, chunks him down to about 150 HP. Jaximus at the same amount as well. They're going to steal away the red buff and possibly take this tier 2. But a really good chase from CrsA Academy despite everything from Velocity.
One more auto attack is all the dogs are ordered there for Rhux and Jaximus, but they both will, like you mentioned, escape. And it's actually Victor going towards the top lane to farm rather than trying to stop anything from going down bottom. And you really can't blame Stefono. He just needs to find a lane where he can get some CS. Has a Rabadon's death cap. Not a whole lot else. 0-4-1 the score, but with a 30 CS advantage over Jaximus.
Yeah, and we actually see ViagraPancakes taking a bit of a CS lead over fabbbyyy, which doesn't mean a lot since fabbyy's 7-0, but he's still CSing. He's keeping himself with a bit of gold in his pocket. Infinity's Edge was completed for fabbbyyy right now. We do see the hunt getting activated Who is he going to look for? It looks like Jaximus might be his target. Stefono is over the side there. The gravity field does not get the stun. It's going to be a repel over the wall to the blue buff. Can they pick up anything from this right now? Legendary gets chunked away. It might be actually them securing their blue buff here. 4 members from CrsA Academy around the sides. OneBadBrad is waiting in the wings. The stun does connect onto OneBadBrad. There is the solar flare coming in. It's going to be a smite actually coming in for OneBadBrad. He does steal it away. Jeebabee going to be the target. He gets blown up. A 2-man gravity field does not stop that kill from happening, and Legendary still commencing, while ViagraPancakes now trying to 1v1 Rhux, as Rhux did initiate the fight with the Dragon's Descent. He falls, and that will be a killing spree over to Rhux.
No completed armor items for Rhux there, at least no endgame armor items. Didn't have the Randuin's Omen, no Sunfire Cape for Ninja Tabby either. But that's all it took was the Blade of the Ruined King, a very aggressive build there from Rhux, really starting to snowball. It's the build that St. Vicious does when he jungles. He will pick up a first item, Blade of the Ruined King, but offense paying off so well as now Baron will go over to CrsA Academy. iusedtobecool drops Tibbers, will fall down.
Wow, fabbbyyy just takes down that Eddie in a simple few shots. We do see Rhux though getting initiated on. It will be the kill over to Stefono. Jeebabee though going to be thrown into the fray and taken out. There is the Whirling Death coming in from Draven, but cannot pick up any kills. And that will be a 1-for-1 so far, as the chase is on potentially from CrsA Academy, but they back out from Velocity side. And it was a 2-for-1, excuse me, as Annie did fall too. I didn't notice that. But either way, this push is going to go down, and this tier 2 in the mid lane is going to fall.
One turret after another. It's been tied for about 3 or 4 minutes now. RF Legendary looking to get in, is on the hunt, jumps in on OneBadBrad, but look at the damage to come back.
Yeah, and a disengage from that Buster shot from Tristana goes down, and they just get out of there fine. It's still 3-19 in kills, but only an 8,000 gold deficit for Velocity.
At this point in the game, we're 25 minutes in. This is where teams like, especially like VVV and to a lesser extent, Cognitive a few times I've noticed, this is where you say, okay, we have the basic items that we need to make our team comp work. So for right now, they just need to put themselves in a situation to where they can use what they have. So if you're looking at CrsA Academy, what do they want to do? They want to use incredible initiation. They want to sneak around with Evelynn, find a pick, set that up for the dive to follow up from Rhux with the Blade of the Ruined King, and then just fabbbyyy huge in the back, 9-0-4. As long as there's a wall in front of him, everything's going to work out for CrsA. But if you're looking towards Velocity, it's a little bit more difficult. Took him a long time to find a kill, have 3, but it's been taken away there from Jeebabee and RF Legendary, who haven't quite found theirs just yet. RF Legendary is great at split pushing. You can see him up there doing that, but same thing for Rhux on the bottom side. Dragon will go over to CrsA. I believe that is their 2nd Dragon of the game.
Yep, and with that, I don't know, that was the first Dragon of the game went over to Velocity. So is that their 2nd one? Yeah, it was their 2nd one. So there's been 3 Dragons in total, and 2 to CrsA Academy now. We'll have a nice little gold lead still at about 8,000. About 9,000 after that finishes. And the pause, I'm not sure what it is, but we'll find out eventually.
Yes, we'll get our top dogs on the issue, seeing if they can fix the, well, whoever is having some problems there. I assume that it was CrsA, as Rhux was the one that paused. I keep telling them to bolt down their chairs. They just never listen, keep falling over. Esports is a dangerous business, Dan. You have to make sure that everything's taken care of ahead of time, whether it's like schedules, availability, making sure you know when you play, and also, you know, the odd chair bolts that are pretty important as well, as it turns out.
Yeah, and Stefono asking what's going on. Looks like lags once again. And what does Velocity do to come back in to this game?
Well, it's definitely going to be a comeback, and it's not going to be an easy one, but at the same time, like I said, they do have what it takes to finish this off. Draven, like you said, he's going to have damage eventually. The only problem is, I don't think he can kill the Randuin's Omen Rhux, especially not in Dragon's Descent, where you get almost, I believe it's like a full Chain Vest and Negatron Cloak just from your passive. So a lot of free stats there. See if he's used to counter push against our Legendary, but oh, now Stefono getting turned around there. We'll try to turn around the damage. Bottom lane, though, the engage will find a kill there onto ViagraPancakes. Kills continue as fabbbyyy jumping in.
Yep, Jeebabee getting taken out there as well by OneBadBrad. And this game is looking so bleak, but they're still pushing it out. They're still trying to hold from the side of Velocity. They have a lot of wave clear with Victor. He's got blue buff as well. He's got that Death Ray upgrade from the Augment, and he will be able to clear out the wave a little bit, but not if they initiate like this. Stefono gonna get blown up. Tibbers is a good response, but he still falls either way. Resetting the jumps, flashing forward, going into RF Legendary. He's gonna get crit, and Buster Shot with auto attack from fabbbyyy will pick up the kill. That's gonna be an ace and an inhibitor going down as it's 3-24 in kills.
And with the dive through the turret, this almost could be game if there's another minion wave coming in there for CrsA Academy. I think they're just going to go ahead and take it up. They actually could end here. Now, ViagraPancakes back alive, but he's forced back to his base, or still alive, rather. Jeebabee, he's there too. One Nexus turret falls, and CrsA Academy actually going to disengage.
Interesting. Dragon's Ascent, rocket jumps, and everybody will back out. So, inhibitor goes down. Where are they going to look to rotate next? There's a tier 2 up top. There's the inhibitor turret in the mid lane that they could just go for. It looks like, actually, that might be a chase from Velocity. They're pinging onto fabbbyyy right now. There is the tether as well coming in for the fear. RF Legendary looking to go in onto fabbbyyy right now. They do end up blowing him up. Paranoia was activated. He's going to flash forward. fabbbyyy is kiting this one out. Buster Shot and a crit to pick up 1 kill, as RF Legendary will get flanked out by everybody else. And fabbbyyy going to be able to kite that one with the amount of farm that he has in the build. And Stefono gonna look for OneBadBrad to get the chase onto him. He pops the ultimate, he bursts him out. Zonia's Hourglass was picked up by OneBadBrad. The ultimate isn't gonna be enough. It looks like no. He pops the gravity field, but Ignite from Rhux will pick up the kill. And barely, OneBadBrad got away, and the repel coming in from Jaximus onto eSports. He's just gonna loop around a circle. Tibbers comes through, but Venomous Bite takes away around 400 HP from that poor Annie. That poor Annie.
Yeah, Annie, not a great time to be an Annie. The Runan's Hurricane Annie, also a little bit of an interesting choice there for iusedtobecool. And while cool though that may be, we'll see if RF Legendary can catch in here onto fabbbyyy. Drill of the Hunt's gonna jump in onto them, locks him down there with a bolo, but cannot take the damage. Flashing in, ViagraPancakes will get the shutdown.
All right, that's a start. He got a little bit of cash in there. So, let's see, how much gold does he have in total now? He's got Trinity Force, he's got Bloodthirst, he got 700 gold from that kill. So let's see Last Whisper and then IE, come on. I believe. We do have iusedtobecool. He sold the Runins, he sold the Avarice Glove, the Avarice Blade, excuse me, and picked up his Talisman of Ascension and Boots.
Difficult to deal with. So he's going to be switching his itemization up somewhat frequently. We'll have to see what he decides to stick with afterwards, but I mean, I guess that's not too bad of an option, but you're going against Tsatsulow, who has mixed in, a little bit of Glacial Shroud action.
Alright, so he's going to be going for potentially a Iceborne Gauntlet or a Frozen Heart. Could be either of those, and it'd be fun to see a Iceborne Gauntlet. We do see a flank going in onto RF Legendary right now. He's got the ping. They do see that OneBadBrad is coming, and he will try to make the great escape once again. But depends on if they give up on the chase. We do have Rhux going up. We do have fabbbyyy and Tsatsulow and everybody from CrsA Academy. So he goes to the brush. Looks like he's trying to back. And the jump in, but OneBadBrad actually going to get initiated on here. The ultimates come through. It's going to be a stun as well as the silence from the damage. He's tanking it all up. Tibbers comes out. He's going to try to Zonius his way through this one. There's the Talisman as well as the Death Ray to pick up the kill. Jaximus comes in. Cocoon comes out. It does connect. Stefono going to fall down there as the Spiderling with the passive from Tsatsulow on that Leona is blowing him up. And a rocket jump in kills fabbbyyy as he was laughing. RF Legendary now getting chased down by Rhux and going to die. And that's pretty much game.
Yeah, fabbbyyy just kind of crushed. I get a feel for iusedtobecool. He's had his days, but it's not there anymore. The epic base race is about to commence. Is now Inhibitor looking to fall there as fabbbyyy and Tsatsulow crash through the base of Velocity, force the recalls out of Pancakes and Jeebabee. They will be back in time to defend, but can they defend versus this bottom duo lane that's now a grand total of 14, 1, and 25.
Seems good. It's a pretty good game for him. We just see Jeebabee getting chased down. He's gonna die here. There, I don't know if he can get away. Does he have flash? It looks like no. He's got paranoia. We do have legendary coming in. Is he gonna throw a bola? It looks like yes. Spring to slow them down. He gets out of there. Random is open on RF though. Venomous Bite. Here comes ViagraPancakes to stand aside. RF legendary pops the ultimate, gets cocooned. He heals up actually, but oh, he gets taken out either way. Rhux gonna get a kill on Jeebabee. Actually, a little bit of a cash in from ViagraPancakes on Rhux now. The repel came through. Jaximus is gonna be the target. He's gonna get a ton of damage on the eSports before he leaves. As the death ray connects. Can we get anything else here? It looks like no. Tsatsulow and fabbbyyy are coming in though. Tsatsulow flashes forward after they do the Baron and comes to join the fray. Jaximus picks up the kill on eSports. fabbbyyy picks up one. He's ignited but gets taken out by Stefono. And the ace over to CrsA Academy puts them at a very good advantage, eh?
So at least for right now, it's going to be the somewhat anticlimactic end to this game. As CrsA Academy, they're going to take down second inhibitor, top and bottom now down. OneBadBrad cleanses off the slow there with a Dark Frenzy, makes his way out of the base. It's now RF Legendary returns to try to save Steve, the last remaining Nexus turret. We know him, we love him. How long can he survive?
Not for too long. Maybe the next 2 minutes or so he'll get taken out. 2 Barons on CrsA, a bunch of Dragons, and a whole ton of kills. 15 and 2, almost at half the team's kills. fabbbyyy there. And Dragon gets taken out again, and it's just a matter of time before they push it down.
Keep in mind, in order to have half the team's kills, you'd have to have more than 15, 16, 17 out there, and so fabbbyy's almost there. Looking to close in on to 20 as CrsA Academy closing on the 40 kill mark. 3 more before they hit that. Now RF Legendary going Jeebabee with the dive.
Alright, so we see a leap in, we see the bola as well, rooting them down. They're gonna get this kill on OneBadBrad when he comes out. Maybe give it the Viagra. Looks like, he actually flashes away, gets the ultimate. Here's the come around from the Whirling Death. Actually, RF Legendary picks it up. Tsatsulow gonna look to go in at the Viagra and Stefono, while Jaximus is doing a ton of damage. He's gonna get fear tethered out there. We do have Rhux coming in with the Dragon's Descent. There is the gravity field. He's doing a ton of damage to everybody in the line, but Rhux is getting chunked out as well. Tsatsulow, they do pick up 1 kill, as that's the second kill that they've received in this whole fight. Tsatsulow gonna be the next target for that one. The ultimate comes in. Jaximus is gonna be that target. RF Legendary laying into him as much as possible. The ultimate from Victor does stay through, and fabbbyyy is gonna backdoor the base, and it's gonna be fabbbyyy, yeah, X fabbbyyy is gonna end the game for a GG from everybody as he buster shots RF Legendary back into the base.
Alright, somewhat anticlimactically, the last auto attacks from the Winions will close out the game 41-11. CrsA Academy, absolutely dominant performance. Find a win here in their last scheduled game of the night here versus Team Velocity. And Velocity, they go 0-2 for today, but we'll have to see if they make the playoffs based on the performances from the rest of the teams. As this is Super Week. We have 8 games, 2 days, 2 weeks of games in those 2 days. So a lot more League of Legends action coming your way. So don't go anywhere. That is just our 5th game of the night, because when we come back, we'll actually have, I think it's, yeah. Okay, so we will have 3 more games. All right, just checking, making sure we have 8 games total. It's going to be to be determined, taking on Complexity, your game for tonight. Coming up next, an NACL Super Week continues right after this.